Greetings, Perceptive Readers. This is a James Poeartistry consultant moment. I hope you are well in receiving this podcast. Yes, it's on the Telegram app, but I will proceed in the next 24 hours, most likely, to move it to the regular podcast at least. The subject that I want to share with you happens to deal with a movie. A movie with some excellent writing that was done throughout the movie. The cast and everything played the script out, in a very neat and humorous way. Okay. At the end of the movie, sometimes there's a moral to the story. And yet in this case, the moral of the story was very, acceptable and encouraging and uplifting as to the conclusion that the person came to. And yet, I'm going to add an additional thought, because even though a final statement, if you will, was made, guess what? It wasn't entirely accurate, but I see the reason why the writers did it in this way, because they were trying to encourage you to at least get the sense at the end that all the while you have everything you need within yourself. See, in addition to that, though, I want you to still see, as we've talked about this week, what a true friend inspires. Well, what movie am I talking about? The name of the movie is called Hitch. Now, Hitch, for all intents and purposes, no matter what the movie was showing him as a relationship counselor or what have you, Hitch, who was played by Will Smith, was a consultant. See, he was a consultant. If I can interject another thought, you heard me talk about consultants before, how they have knowledge in different areas. And that's why, depending on what you have a niche for or what your knowledge or background may be, see, people will place value upon that. That's just another, FYI, as we've talked about valuing and supporting artists. Well, he was paid very well for that. Okay. So Hitch was played by Will Smith. And he helped a lot of persons, and it's good that they showed this, actually come to the relationship, when it came to relationship building stages, where they were falling apart and unsuccessful before, they were successful now. You see, they had successful relationships. All right. So in the movie, there was another man named Albert, who was a big-time accountant, and they handle high-end clients like heiress, princes, or whatever, entertainers or what have you. Well, in this case, there was one woman named Allegra. See, and I'm not going to tell you the whole movie, because Eva Mendes was also in this movie, but I want to focus still on the consultant here, Will Smith, who was Hitch, his name, his code name or whatever. The whole point is this. Albert, the big time accountant, handled big time clients. He had a very is more than a crush for this heiress, Allegra. And the whole thing is, he used Will Smith, his knowledge and his skills, how to approach the situation, how to perform or run in that game of chase, if I could use that expression. When a boy likes a girl likes a boy, the game of chase that sometimes they engage in. See, Hitch, the consultant, had that knowledge. And he also gave experience in other ways of basically enticing or drawing Allegra's attention. All right. I'm not going to, like I said, tell you the whole movie, but you can see a variety of the ways that Hitch, the consultant, gave him Albert the confidence and, yes, even the words to say and what to do, the process, if you will. And he was certainly explaining along the way at times why he should do what he was doing, even though it was something where Albert was in his own personality mode. Sometimes he just threw the counsel totally out the window and was just being, listen to the key words, was just being himself. And see, at the end of the movie, remember I told you, like, the moral of the story in this case was, you heard me say, you have everything you need within yourself, because after it was brought out that Allegra liked or loved or found so many things adorable about Albert that Will Smith had told him, or Hitch had told him not to do, Will Smith said in the end, basically, let me keep saying, Hitch said at the end, I did absolutely nothing. Because, they were making it sound like, well, what do I have you here? No, excuse me. He was saying, well, what did you do to the situation? That's basically what the question was being asked or said, because Albert still ended up getting the girl at the end. And Hitch ended up saying, I did absolutely nothing. I'm here to tell you today, perceptive readers, along the line of what a true friend inspires. Or should I ask you a question first? If Albert wouldn't have asked for Will Smith, Hitch's advice, and at least initially in the beginning, even middle, I'm telling you, even 3/4 through the way, do you think, as we used to say, Albert would have been able to pull that fine specimen of a woman? I'll let you decide that for yourself. Along with that is this. If Hitch didn't have nothing to do with it in the end, then here's another question, where did Albert confidence come from to even approach Allegra in this way, to even learn about the so-called, quote unquote, the game of life or game of chase between man and woman at times, you see? So with all that being said, I want you to keep those thoughts in mind, because what consultants will do, and I'm just a side thought, but what consultants will do at times is, and sages, even though you have everything in you of what you need, sometimes the consultant or the friend, what a friend truly inspires, they help you to see that. Okay? They help you to see that. And so I just wanted to share that with you tonight, perceptive readers, that sometimes after people receive whatever attention or help that they need, hopefully we will always have the appreciation for whatever it may be. Because even in God's Word, the Bible, and I want to bring this out, there are topics in the Bible that people may not have ever really considered or talked about because they just wasn't brought out to them. And they tell you an aspect, again, about God's personality that people may not have ever considered at all. And yet again, I emphasize, the author of the Bible, who is Jehovah God, certainly inspired it to be put in there. In closing, like what I highlighted on my Penergy page, the Song of Solomon. You have a very wonderful day, perceptive readers, wonderful night. Take good care of yourself. Bye-bye.
You have just listened to the Perceptive Readers podcast. Remember, until next time, if you read something that encourages you to improve or enhance your life for the better, it becomes your reality.